Hello everybody, welcome to Mary Jane _ giveaway. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. We're getting right into a new year here, and I hope it brings lots of enjoyment and wonderfulness over the new year. The reason why we're here today, I have a gentleman with me. His name is Chris. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. Thanks for coming. We're here today to talk about Chris's experience with stage 4 brain cancer. Now, Chris went through this back in 2016, and we're going to hear a little bit about this. Now, Chris, in 2016, what day was this?
It was actually April 1st, 2 o'clock in the morning.
April 1st, so it was April Fools.
Yep.
But nobody was fooling you.
Nope, it wasn't a joke.
No joke. What happened?
Well, I was, just roughhousing, and it just ended up like a pinch in my brain, and then felt fluids flowing up, and knew something was wrong, so I got up and was thinking I was going to get some fresh air, walk it off, and I collapsed at the floor. Went to lift myself up, and I collapsed again, so I just sat up against the wall and blacked out.
Wow. So that is
Yeah,
wow.
it was quite the
it's quite the ordeal.
yes. Not really understanding what was going on. It was a very uncomfortable feeling for sure.
So you ended off here in Lloyd Hospital, or
No, my family that I was living with at the time, they actually drove me to the Lloydminster Hospital at first, but they wasn't really helpful, and they actually had a Stars helicopter on its way to the airport here in Lloyd for another patient that was brought in earlier, but sadly he passed away before the chopper was able to get there, and they just loaded me up instead and sent me to Saskatoon.
wow, so it was a bad day for a lot of people.
Yeah, unfortunately it was.
So you got to Saskatoon, and that's where you woke up, and I guess that's when you found out you had a blood clot in your brain?
No, it was a tumor.
A tumor?
It was a tumor. They didn't know what it was at first. There was quite a few tests. They waited a couple weeks afterwards so that my body could reabsorb all the blood that was still left blocking the MRIs.
Oh, okay.
So then after that, it was they did some tests. They still weren't satisfied with the results, so they did an angiogram, I believe it was called.
An angiogram.
Yeah.
So before they did this angiogram, they cut you open.
Yes, they once they had to actually cut a chunk of my skull out that night. When they rushed me into Saskatoon, they had a neurosurgeon on call. She actually was called. She was there, met us there. They put me right under as soon as they got me to Saskatoon.
So at this point, you're not thinking cancer.
No, we don't know what it was. It was just I collapsed, and my family, I don't know what they were thinking. It was.
And they had to do this emergency surgery right away, which
Yes,
is this
so
scar
as soon
that
as
we
we
can
went
see on the
into
top
it.
of your head here, and another almost like a bullet hole.
There was a hole they drilled to put a straw, like tube in my brain or in my skull, just to drain the extra fluid that was pooling in still.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
I feel so lucky to be just sitting next to Chris here. It's
It's
amazing you're still here, man.
Had a total of 9, what do you call them, IVs. When I woke up, I had 2 or 3 in one leg, I had 2 in the other leg, I had 3 in this arm, I was covered in needles. It was awful. I hate needles.
Wow. So they were you're awake, recovering, getting ready to go home, and they did a test. This test. So this test, what is it you call it?
It was an angiogram.
Angiogram. So they put a camera in through
In through my thigh.
Thigh
I
of your
believe
leg.
they went through the artery all the way up to my brain.
all the way up to your
They
brain.
injected a special ink, and then they took a camera, like they used the camera to take a picture, and it just showed up like there was this big white blotch, and they immediately knew that there was something that wasn't supposed to be there.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, the neurosurgeon took her next available days that she had, and I was back in under the knife. They went in, removed what they could, and put my skull back together.
So after all this, they let you go home.
Yeah, they sent the tumor away before releasing me out of the hospital, and it was
So you had the results before you left the hospital or after you
it was
were home?
after I left the hospital.
So you get home and you're waiting on the tests and your mind is racing or whatever.
Yeah, it was anyone's guess. We didn't know what it was, whether it would be benign or.
So how long after April 1st was it that you got your result? That said it was stage 4 cancer.
I'm not sure exactly. I was in the hospital for 2-3 months, I think. It's really
Okay.
hard to say. Like, it was very fuzzy.
Oh, I
Like,
can
my
imagine.
whole first 2 weeks, a week maybe, week and a half in RUH, it's a blur. There's like nothing there.
I just assume that even just a day would feel like a long wait
Yeah, it was.
for such results, right?
Yeah.
So you got the results, and that's when they told you that you had stage 4 brain cancer.
Yes, and it was a very aggressive type of cancer. It was a glioblastoma, or what was actually Gordon Downey was diagnosed with the same thing. I believe the same year or the year before.
He was.
He was, and he recently passed away from it actually, and it's quite the loss.
Huge loss. Huge loss for Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But you're fortunate enough.
Yeah, I
That-
survived, and
You did the therapy that they wanted. You did the chemo. Was it chemo you did first?
and radiation for like 8 weeks, and it was a very horrible experience. Like, I was motion sick, like walking a little too fast. I would get dizzy, and like it wasn't good. Like,
No, I couldn't
the
imagine.
walkers, wheelchair, just.
So you got to a point that the tumor never shrunk any, but it wasn't
No.
getting bigger.
No, it was after their test. They reached the max dosages that were within safe limits of giving somebody of my age and weight.
Oh, okay.
So anything past that, they would be almost ensuring that there would be damages done.
So it could kill you. It
Yeah, they would start causing more damage than
could, than
good.
doing good.
Yeah,
So you're at your maximum dose of chemo therapy
and the radiation.
and the radiation.
Yeah, they had that as strong as they can get.
But you didn't give up.
No,
You weren't ready to give up.
No, it was quite entertaining, I guess you could say, because I knew that there was really nothing that I could do. But I was just doing what they wanted to do and take it day by day. And luckily, they gave me a green card right away, so I was able to self-medicate through.
Cannabis.
Yes.
So did you smoke the cannabis? Did you eat the cannabis?
So I smoked it. I would go outside and kind of take my wheelchair a little further off, and
So what did cannabis help you with?
pain mostly, because I had my head cut open and put back together. I had chronic migraines that were unbearable at times. It was no fun for sure.
No fun at all. So did you start to do some research on your own, or
I did.
because they told you there's nothing more they can do, so you're basically on your own and
Yeah.
to wait and see where it goes?
Yeah, as soon as I got released out of the hospital, I ended up moving in with family just because, I wasn't in any condition to take care of myself for sure. I was still under a watch of some form, just because I might relapse and have another stroke.
Okay, yeah.
So there was still that risk of me still passing away at any time.
Wow.
It was, yeah.
So, did you come across someone, or did you research this on your own?
No,
you came across
actually,
something that helped you.
yes, somebody introduced me to herbs and herbal medicine and whatnot, and it started off with garlic, just every garlic you can buy at the grocery store.
Just regular garlic.
Yeah.
I got just a little sheet of it here, so you guys can see. I hope you can see that all right. So, did you just take the garlic and eat it, or stuff a whole bunch in a glass and pour in some water and drink the water?
No, I.
How did you go about?
Well, it took a little while to get a happy medium dosage. I mean, I started off with one tiny clove because garlic is rather strong and it didn't really work very well. So I mean, I went up to 2 or 3 cloves and found that was too potent. But then I dialed it down to two just medium sized cloves from the knuckle on your thumb to the tip of your finger, and just mince them up in 2 cups of water and let it simmer for a couple hours, and pulls all of the nutrients and everything you need out of the garlic, and you just drink it like tea.
And so, how often a day? Just once in the morning?
Once in the morning every day usually. It's just a.
Did you feel any difference right away, or?
Yeah, within the first couple of days you really notice a little bit more energy. You start feeling a little better, not so groggy in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you do it. I haven't started doing it yet, but I'm wondering what doing it at night would do for helping sleep.
So you started taking this garlic, and you went in for some tests, and what did you find out?
Well, a few months after they released me and told me there was nothing they could do, I was still doing a monthly. Every month I'd go back for an MRI just to see if anything was happening. And actually, a few months later, it actually shrank, the area that was in question.
So it shrunk.
Yeah, it was a couple centimeters in size, and then it shrunk to they didn't give me a number; they just said millimeters.
Well, that's amazing.
It's just nothing to worry about anymore.
So you must have felt like you won.
Yeah, I was like, well, they told me that wasn't possible and doesn't happen, very often. What are the chances of that happening? There's a lot of people that unfortunately don't make it. So it was.
Well, most times it's not the cancer that kills the people. It's the treatment.
Yes, the treatment was. I can definitely see where that goes, because it does quite the damage.
This is an amazing story. I know it probably wasn't easy for you to come here in front of the camera today and know it's going to be going on YouTube and anyone can watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. There's people probably today that only just found out they have cancer and they don't know what to do or where to go.
Yeah,
now, we're not telling you that garlic is the cure to cancer at all. That's not what we're here trying to tell you. But what we are trying to tell you is that Chris found other ways when there was no other resort and there was no other answer. He took it into his own hands to self-medicate himself, and it worked so far. Because you're into how many years now?
Coming up on 3. As soon as April comes around, it's 3 years since my stroke.
Wow, 2019. I'm happy it's here. I'm looking forward to what this year got to bring. I thank you guys for joining the show today. Down the road here, I don't have an exact date, but Chris is willing to come back again because there was more than just garlic that he is taking to help him, that he thinks helped him shrink the tumors.
There's a lot of different medicinal properties of herbs that have amazing benefits.
Would you mind listing off maybe a handful?
There's dandelion, there's cinnamon, rooibos, there's lavender, there's chamomile, cayenne. The list goes on. There's anything does its own.
And could we be taking these things daily to prevent cancer or even coming into our life?
Yeah, definitely. If we're all properly, like we have proper nutrition, we actually eat whole foods, raw whole foods that have the proper amount of nutrition that it should originally have, our bodies would stand a better chance of fighting stuff off like that.
And when you found out there was nothing else left for the doctors to do and you felt to take it into your own hands, did you change your diet?
Everything changed. I was like, when I was in the hospital still waiting for the results, I was still drinking at least once a day. I was going a second cup and getting like a massive creamy drink that was just loaded with sugar. But the moment I found out that it was cancer, it was done. There was no takeout for a while. There was no
Whole new lifestyle.
Yeah, everything changed. It was.
So do you exercise more?
Yeah, I started going for walks. I got myself a dog shortly after getting released from the hospital, and it's done wonders.
What kind of dog did you get?
She's a black lab and border collie cross.
Oh, beautiful
Like
dogs.
she had.
I got a
eyes
Labrador
there.
mix at home.
Do you?
You just got the one dog?
Yeah, that is just the one.
I got four. 4 dogs.
Same
Three rescues, and we purchased one.
Yeah, mine was SPCA rescue as well.
We have one from the SPCA. That's where the black lab is from. And then we got the little Min Pin. And he's been from home to home, but he's at his forever home now, and his name is Cheech. And Torque is the black lab. And then I got Luca. Luca is my Shepherd Cross, and he's a rescue as well. And then we got Ruby. She's a pit bull, and we purchased her, and she's just full of love. She's. I got a video on my YouTube channel. You guys can check it out, and the cat is just there cleaning Ruby's face, and she loves it. So walking the dog and having the dog around definitely helps you feel better. And
yes, it takes your mind off a lot of things, gives you something to focus on, and then it's like that companionship. It's like it's nice to have that support.
No matter what
Exactly.
you're going through, I feel that the dogs are always there for me. I could go home in any kind of mood, and my dogs are happy to see me.
Yes, all the time.
So I'm with you on that. I love the pooches. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put them on the video. We can answer them. And if you want to ask Chris questions personally, we're going to have them live later into the new year here. So I'll give a date probably in the next video or the video after that as we grow our beautiful cannabis. And they're absolutely doing wonderful. I actually got a huge surprise for you guys on Thursday. That's going on in the grow room that I didn't expect. So it should be interesting. But Chris, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Really happy you came to the show. Your story is amazing, and I look forward to having you here again.
Looking forward to it.
So thanks everybody for joining in. I hope you enjoyed what Chris had to say, and we'll be back again. And we'll see you guys on Thursday when we do update on Mary Jane _ giveaway, as I'm giving away the entire crop. So take it easy, enjoy the new year, and I hope it brings lots of peace to everybody. Stay medicated.